Don't fall. Not you, the camera. Okay. Hello, FTM Kickstarters. It's Thursday, so that means that my name is Gavyn. First of all, I think I've been absent the last 2 weeks, I think. I don't know. Time really has no meaning for me. But the reason for my lack of presence is, you guessed it, the kidney stone. It's still with me, even after surgery and stent placement and subsequent stent removal, which was incredibly traumatizing. It's still there. It still hurts. I don't know what the hell. I'm to the point where I'm ready to, go to some dark, primitive country and do, a voodoo ritual or something to get it to come out. Anyway, Germans, stay fresh. The topic this week, if I'm to understand correctly, is an extension of last week or the week before. Anyway, that topic being masculinity. I cut my hair just for it. Do you like it? I think it makes me look super butch. Not really. I shaved my hair off because it's being hot. Masculinity, God. So, it's such a broad topic. So, to keep my poor little mind from reeling and being overwhelmed, I'm going to shrink it down to masculinity in reference to gender identity and presentation, and what masculinity means to me. For me, masculinity is something that happens to me occasionally, kind of like deja vu. I never really know when I'm going to be masculine. It's not something that I strive for or work towards or approach any social situation or any activity with this preconceived idea that, I'm going to be masculine. I don't identify as a masculine individual. I don't necessarily identify as an entirely effeminate individual. I like to think that I kind of reside somewhere in the middle of those two. Of course, taking on the best qualities of both. Some things I do are incredibly masculine, like when I fix stuff on Shay's car, or lift heavy things, or belch. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that, that's gross. And then other things I do are incredibly effeminate, like crying because the sky is a beautiful shade of cerulean blue, or being incredibly emotionally moved because I put together a phenomenal outfit. No, I'm kidding. I'm being incredibly stereotypical. Masculinity, God. It's not something I really ponder a lot. I know it causes a lot of distress for people, for gay men, for lesbians, for heterosexuals, homosexuals, for trans people. In the trans community, in the FTM community, if you're not masculine enough, then you're not trans enough, and in the MTF community, if you're too masculine, then you're not trans enough. My question is, there's this fixation with masculinity and whatnot. Where's the fixation on femininity? Just curious. I'm just curious. Do MTF collab channels or MTF support groups or whatever, do they like fixate on femininity the way the FTM community fixates on masculinity? I don't know. Okay, I have to put the Germix down. I don't really know what to say about masculinity other than it's something that I try not to think about a whole lot, because I'm not an incredibly masculine person, and I never will be, and to try to strive for that, I feel, would be being untrue to who I am, and being untrue to how I was socialized for 28 years before I came out as trans. For me personally, I'm not saying this applies to anyone else in the trans community, but for me personally, being socialized as a female for 28 years, living as a female for 28 years, navigating the world in a female body and being perceived as female by society at large, that's something that, while definitely had its pitfalls, I'm grateful for. I have, as a trans man, I have a very, very unique perspective of the world and the gender spectrum, and that's something that I'm thankful for. You know, if I could go back and have the choice of being born biologically male, knowing what I know now and having lived the life that I've lived, and having the knowledge that I have now, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it, absolutely not. Because, like I said, I'm a very unique human being because of the life I've lived and the experiences I've had. That's Kelsier. And if anyone knows what series of books that character name comes from, you get extra brownie points. Anyway, I wouldn't change the fact that I'm trans. I wouldn't do it. I'm very grateful. And it's taken some time to get to a point to be able to say that. And when I first came out as trans, I went through this period, this phase, whatever, where I tried to cram myself into this box of what the stereotypical male should be, the gender stereotypes, and oh god, it was miserable. And I even went through a period where I was like, maybe I'm not really trans because I don't feel comfortable moving through the world as this hyper-masculine super dude, you know. And it was only through hours and hours and hours of introspection and self-evaluation and, of course, research and all of those sorts of things that I finally came to the conclusion that you don't have to be super butch or super masculine to be a trans man. You know, there are so many different types of males out there, and it breaks my heart that there are so many trans guys that think they have to fit this rigid paradigm or mold of what a man should be. You know, we are unique individuals, and we have wonderful experience to draw upon, and we should embrace that and utilize it in our daily lives. And, you know, for me, it's important to speak about these things, about breaking those paradigms and those rigid thought processes on how one should express their gender, because I'm not masculine. I identify as a fairy boy, you know. I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me, and I would love for everyone else to get to that point, and mainly for everyone else to realize that it's not up to anyone but that individual, as to whether or not they're trans enough, or whether or not their gender expression and their gender identity is okay. It's not up to anyone but them. Sorry. So yeah, I like how this video is 10 minutes long, and I said I had nothing to say on masculinity. This is my life. There's one under that pillowcase there. That's Pippin. Say hello. Okay. Well, I hope everyone has a good weekend, and I'm pretty sure next week is going to be fun, provided I'm not curled up in the fetal position in pain. So, I'll see y'all next week. Take care, everybody. Bye.